Hello everyone, I am Kyra Lene and welcome back to my channel. So I wanted to have a quick conversation regarding modesty in the entertainment industry. And I really want to talk about something that no one really says out loud. If you are a woman in entertainment, a singer, an actress, a performer, an influencer, there is an unspoken expectation on how you should look. Usually equals more clicks. And if you choose not to participate in that, you risk being labeled boring, not marketable, or simply irrelevant. So the question becomes, is modesty even realistic in the entertainment industry? Or is it career suicide? So I want to break this down in 3 angles: social pressure, legal and contractual pressure, and the internal pressure that women face when trying to balance identity with ambition. Most importantly, how to stand your ground without sabotaging your career. Now listen, before I begin, I want to preface this by saying a few things. Some may wonder, why am I even talking about this? And I myself have music videos that are not the most modest and may not exude the ultimate level of modesty. However, as I evolve, I try my best to move forward with modesty, but I do not negate my past. And I also do not feel like you have to be holier than thou. It is completely and entirely up to you how you want to show up in this world. So first, let's talk about culture. We live in an attention economy. And listen, attention is currency. And what captures attentions quickly? Sex appeal. Media amplifies it, and audiences engages with it. So over time, what starts as a choice slowly becomes the norm. But here's where it gets complicated. When something becomes normalized, it stops feeling like pressure, even when it is. Young female artists grow up watching what works. They see who gets the actual headlines, and the message becomes subtle but clear. And really, it's like, if you want visibility, you have to lean more into your body. But here is the deeper question. Is it empowerment if it feels like a viable option? Having the ability to choose is very powerful. But when one choice is disproportionately rewarded and the other is penalized, that's influence. So now we all think that this is how you have to be in order to be successful in this business. I have interest in perhaps one day becoming an entertainment lawyer, okay? So I started to do a deep dive into the legal and contractual reality behind some artists. So let's move into contracts. And I'm gonna preface by saying, once again, I'm not a lawyer. This information is based solely on research. So, in entertainment contracts, especially traditional record deals, image matters. We all know that. But in the contract, there are clauses related to branding alignment. There are clauses related to morality. There are creative direction stipulations. And a lot of times it's very subtle. Like, you don't know exactly what it is that you're getting yourself into. For example, if a label invests hundreds and thousands of dollars into a marketing project, it will have input on the campaign's direction. It may not say wear less clothing. They may say like, oh, this direction is a little bit better than this one. So let's unbutton this, or let's wear this, let's do this. That is different from how you may have thought you wanted to present yourself. Or they may say like, this aesthetic sells, or this image with this certain demographic. If you are under contract, so the more leverage that you have, the more control that you have. And as you grow and as you learn from other people, or you just have someone in your corner that's able to really understand what certain contracts are saying, artists with bargaining power, they negotiate image rights. They negotiate visual direction. And see, that's the beauty with independent artists. They usually have the freedom to kind of just do what they want, but they may have less infrastructure. They may have less of a backing and budget. So that's kind of like the pro and cons of being an independent artist. But back to topic, I think that modesty becomes easier when ownership increases. And really, I think as a woman, power and modesty are connected. You keep people wondering. You keep people wanting to know more about you. When you show all the goods, I don't know. I could even remember when I was younger, like growing up being or having this dream to be within the music industry. That was a very hard thing for me because on one hand, I had people telling me that I needed to be more sexy. And on the other hand, I had my own moral compass, like, I don't really want to do too much, you know? And here's the contradiction that women face. Be sexy, but not too sexy. Be desirable, still be respectful. That psychological tightrope is exhausting because it's about control of narrative. And truly, this goes beyond, right? We see as artists develop and we get to learn more about them that outside of their contractual obligations, they also have internal pressures. Because when you are evolving and you are trying to just be like a normal person and evolve, you start to question yourself, like, am I holding myself back? It's something that I really want to say to young women who are coming up in this industry, or who just, whatever it is that they want to do in their life. Modesty is not about fear, okay? And it's not about shame. You're not hiding from yourself. It's really a form of self-respect, in my opinion. But for some women, it's also about alignment. It's about wanting to be known for your skill. It's about separating talent from temptation. And that does not make someone insecure or less than. It's actually a form of discipline. Even though we don't see it often, I think that people who uphold these standards for themselves, they are actually more confident than most because they are choosing this. They are being disciplined in their identity. They are in control of their destiny and they know exactly who they are. So how do you stand your ground without burning bridges? First, you need to define who it is that you want to be. You need to define your brand before someone else defines it for you. Secondly, you need to build leverage before you need it. So if you are familiar with the artist Russ, he mentioned that because he was an independent artist and he did so well independently, that he built leverage so labels basically worked out in his favor. Contracts worked out in his favor because he already had leverage. So I suggest that you do that. And most people do. In this day and time, they are independent. So they are building their own fan base. But there are artists to this day that I actually just read an article. I'm not going to say who, but I read an article about a particular artist who did not read their contracts and are stuck in a loophole where now internally they are struggling because they have to meet the demands of other people. They're basically owned. I'll just say that. They're basically owned. When you do have these contracts, it is important that you negotiate creative control whenever possible. Even if you are independent, put your values in writing. Fourth, understand that slow growth is not failure. I made this mistake thinking that because I was not growing, that I was failing, okay? Understand that slow growth is not failing. You have to remember that true authority builds slow. And finally, separate attention from respect. Attention can be bought, but respect is built. And if modesty does align with you as a creative person, then stand firm in it. Stand in it confidently. And if bold expression aligns with you, then stand in that confidently. Like, I'm not here to tell you what's right or wrong, it's your life. And remember that modesty within this industry is not about hiding. We have so many good examples of women who do exude modesty in a beautiful way. Modesty, it's about agency. It's about owning who you are and how you want to show up. It's about who controls your image. Is it you or is it the machine? And in my opinion, your body should never be the only business strategy. You can be beautiful, modest, and still sexy. If this resonated with you, like, subscribe, share it to whoever you feel like you need to share it with. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Thank you for tuning in into my quick little chat. Maybe not so quick, but thank you for tuning in. All my love.